boundary line, Bernie Quinlan. Evening, Bernie.
Yes, good evening, Drew. Well, conditions almost ideal here for this interstate clash between Victoria and New South Wales. I say almost because there has been a light sprinkling of rain, almost not enough to wet the whistle, but there is a little bit of moisture on the surface, which may make it a little bit difficult for the high-marking Victorian players later on in the game. But, Drew, I'd say Langford will probably line up at centre-half back, and surprisingly, Paul Roos will line up at centre-half forward.
We get into action, and Coleman for New South Wales gets the first fist of the ball, but Victoria the first kick away. Kick by Smith, high to half forward. Marking contest, nothing doing. Scott for Victoria runs on it. Approaches 50, a centering kick. Too long for the full forward. Salmon gets back there. He's got a chance still, Paul Salmon, in the goal square.
Free kick, Drew, though. It should be a free kick New South Wales way. It's going to Gafer. On interchange for Victoria. Rock, Lovett, Watson and Silvani. Wheel are about to come on for New South Wales, so they're going to bring a quick change to New South Wales. We'll just wait and see what the change is going to be.
Gafer to half-back flank region. Out comes Chris Danaher, and he clears to the wing. Hannah at the back, punched away from James Hurd. Still Hannah, can't control the football, Ross Smith. And the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in. And they are making that change now, Don.
Powell, I think it is coming off. And Wheeler on.
Boundary throw-in. Near to left half forward for New South Wales. Allison has the football. Free kick. And the player on the bottom of the pack taking that free kick is Schwass. What a magnificent season he is having with North Melbourne, along with 17 or 18 of his mates. Chance now for Salmon. He leaves it for O'Donnell. O'Donnell is dumped. Ball at half forward for Victoria. And umpire Carey calls for a bounce.
Umpires in charge tonight, Peter Carey and Andrew Coates. We're playing Foster's Cup rules. That is 20-minute quarters with time on added when a goal or a behind is scored or when the ball's out of bounds. Brownless tries to clear for New South Wales. Kick smothered. Chance for the Vicks. Ball's rushed over the boundary line near the behind post. And we'll have a throw-in. Brunton, what a success story for him. Coming from Parramatta. And he tried 3 times. And the 3rd time he was successful for the Swans. And here he is playing state football. Still another chance for Victoria. Free kick right in front. Salmon should get the first goal.
Actually, he's done well, Salmon, early, although he wouldn't figure on the statistical sheet. The way he created the space out earlier at half forward, the smother, he instigated the smother, which caused the ball to be turned over, and now he's got the free kick. It's against his teammate, Anthony Danaher.
And it was great to see Anthony Danaher really look upset about that umpiring decision being given against him. I'm absolutely certain that the New South Wales boys will be fighting for dear life to win this game.
I'll say, the 4 Danaher brothers were there in 1990. 3 of them here tonight. Salmon gets the first goal.
Well, it's going to be interesting. On paper, the Victorians look as if they had the goods. And maybe tonight they will have, because in New South Wales a couple of years ago, it was a small ground, the conditions not conducive to good football. And the New South Wales guys really did apply themselves and drag the Victorians down. But tonight, I think it might be a different matter.
And Anthony Danaher giving away the free kick. Salmon getting the first goal of the game. Knights for Victoria. Hooks the kick across his shoulder. Being dumped was Grant. Lambert has the football. Sweeping hand pass. Looks out here for Brown. Brown. Nice little handball. Away goes Schwass. In towards the goal square. Punched away by Anthony Danaher. Still Scott. Chris Danaher on the bottom of the pack. Under a little bit of pressure back there was Morris. And it is Russell Morris's birthday today. So happy birthday, Russell. What a day to celebrate your birthday. Playing for New South Wales. Boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket for Victoria. Out comes Brownless. Brownless's kick to a vacant half-back region. Leading in the race for the ball for New South Wales is Murphy, and he gets around onto the right foot and kicks it up towards half-forward. Marking contest, punched away from Carey. Back towards the wing, Nathan Burke first to get back there. Closely contested there by Barrich. Brown dumped off the football, some really good tackling, but eventually the umpire sees one of them as unfair, and the free kick will go to Brown.
Up towards half forward. The lead by Lowe. He can't take the mark. He's getting a free kick for the push.
That's an interesting one. Brownless at centre-half back. He didn't do well earlier in the year for Geelong in that position. And a good switch could be Longmire to that position.
The kick out in front of goal. Schwass has been prominent early, taken away from him by Chris Danaher. Hurried kick to the forward line was taken there by Smith, and the mark and defence by Crawford, who was playing for Assumption College last year. First year in the AFL and playing state footy. Centre wing, Schwass again. Goes back to Roos, who hasn't picked up Carey. Langford's on Carey. Long kick by Roos. A whistle and a free kick to Gaffer.
This is interesting because last week against North Melbourne he had 3 free kicks given against him, and tonight he's got 2-4.
Against Ablett.
Kick towards the half-back region, and the mark is taken down here in front of us by Paul Kelly, the Swans captain. Well, surely must have misjudged that, Morris. Hit him on the head. Lambert gives away ground with a hand pass to Roos. Roos a short kick, too short, and the mark is taken by Morris. Morris's hand pass finds Pike. Pike and Goodbar taken by Roos. Pike's kick dropping in short. Roos with the football at left half back, forced to kick high in the air, going a little close to the man on the mark. The ball at the back, it's Knights. What a brilliant player Matthew Knights is. Short pass, too high for Ablett. Salmon, back to Ablett. Watch this. Doesn't bounce too kindly for Gary Ablett. And it goes through for his first score, which is a behind.
Again, Paul Salmon doing well, leading Anthony Danaher in that race for the ball, then feeding it off.
Well, this is going to be an intriguing matchup between Anthony Danaher and Paul Salmon. Club teammates for Essendon, opponents here tonight.
Not much to kick to, is there?
Morris working to the front. Lowe tries to punch from behind. It's grabbed by Wheeler. Tries to break away with pace. Gets away a good hand pass to Brunton. Onto Pike. Long kick to the forward line. First time the Blues have been up there. Out into the forward pocket. Longmire behind. It's punched away by Frawley, and he finds the safety of the boundary line. St Kilda skipper Danny Frawley having the job on John Longmire, and Langford with the job on Carey.
Craig Scholl holding as the ball came into his vicinity.
Carey forced to do the ruck work up against Steins. Coleman from the back. Ball comes around the back to Knights, but he's brilliantly dispossessed. Trying to get through Steins. Hannah. Roos playing a terrific roll across half-back, already having an impact. Kicks to a vacant half-forward region. Ball bounces. Out comes Ablett. Well tackled by Gaffer, was he? Yes. Holding the ball.
Dindy was in possession. Doing well there, Michael Gaffer. Watch Albert dropping the ball really in his possession.
New South Wales get clear of half-back, out towards the wing. Is that a mark? Yes, it's been paid to the Victorian Vice-Captain Gavin Brown.
Poor effort by Coleman.
Kick by Brown up towards half-forward. No marking whatsoever by New South Wales. Knights uncontested. Left footer goes long for the goal line. It bounces through.
Well, a fortunate bounce, a leg break. There he is, Matthew Knights, and look at Steins and also Knights by themselves. Got blood already trickling from the eye. Should be in the blood bin. And there's the fortunate bounce. Victoria really doing well, have attacked this game very well initially.
Well, Matthew Knights with blood streaming for a cut near his left eye gets Victoria's second goal. New South Wales get the ball up towards the full forward region. Getting back quickly was Scholl. Tackled, Tui the tackler. No free kick by, gee whiz, that might have been close. Andrew Coates and Peter Carey. There's Bernard Tui. Jimmy Steins gets the tap out. Reported on Saturday, but got clear of thanks to the tribunal decision last night, able to take his place in the Victorian side this evening. Much to the delight of the Victorian selectors. Here's Carey. Langford tackling. Still there. Lambert. Scholl quickly goes back near the centre. Crawford, well done James Hird. Chris Danaher, Crawford with pace, gets clear. Chance now for Murphy. Murphy from 35 metres, maybe a little further. A high kick to the goal line. Up high was Carey. The ball goes over for New South Wales' first score, and that is a behind to David Murphy. So Victoria lead 2-1 to New South Wales, just one behind, as Ross Smith prepares to kick it back into play.
Murphy should have done better with that kick. In front, Steins can't take the mark. Knights has it and tackles straight away. The umpire says the ball was held in and he'll ball it up. He's got to go off, hasn't he?
Whose job is it? Whose job is it? Is it an umpiring
It's left at the discretion of the medical officer, and this is a real joke in AFL football. The way guys get away with eyes like that or blood trickling from wounds.
Steins wins, but Pike knocks it on for New South Wales. Roos has been dominant at the start of the game. High tackle, Victorian free kick.
In other sports, they'd be off in the blood bin. Rugby league, basketball, off get the wound attended to.
Brown goes across to Smith. Long kick by Smith. Low. Held out of it by Brownless. Free kick to Low.
You see the umpires consistent.
Stewie Low goes quickly and short to Ablett. That's chopped off beautifully by Crawford, who got a hand to it. Gayfer assisting. Barrich out of defence. Bouncing ball at half-back. Pike. Knights is there. Lambert, his Richmond teammate. Knights pumps the ball in. Well done by Kelly. Now Pike. His hand pass to Wheeler has been carved up by Roos early. Kick by Wheeler is disappointing, but luckily onto the chest of Swan's teammate Murphy. Wheeler's got a bit of pace. Drops it in front of Brown. Great tackle by Brown. Back to Murphy. Long kick to full forward. Punch away by Langford, and the ball's safely out of play. And Matthew Knights does get the attention, and we thought coming just a fraction late.
2-1, plays one behind. 11 minutes left in the first quarter. Steins at the back, Coleman. And the umpire would be forced to bounce. That's Craig Scholl and Bernard Toohey. The play is about 35, maybe 40 metres from the New South Wales goal. Steins and Coleman. Coleman from behind. Hurd on Lambert. Lambert tries to get it clear. Unsuccessful. Still got the football. O'Donnell goes after it. And Paul Kelly gets the pats of appreciation from his teammates. Another umpiring decision. A bounce in the right forward pocket for New South Wales. Up high, Carey. Wheeler.
Good tackle.
And Scholl. Kick by Toohey, was it? Touched. And it's through for one behind.
Great tackle by Wheeler.
Ted Whitten and Billy Goggin looking on intensely.
Did you hear also, leading into this game, odds of 80 to 1 and 50 to 1 about New South Wales from a couple of sources?
Well, there are a few within the ranks who thought that New South didn't have much of a chance here tonight, but I suppose with injuries to Victoria, their chances have certainly improved. And that was a beautiful pass by the kid Crawford. And across the ground to Barrich, and Adrian Barrich, who's playing in the West Australian League for Perth.
I was just going to say, one of the forgotten men. Initially, he was in the initial squad for the Eagles when it was formed.
Barrich from 45 metres. Good effort. New South Wales' first goal.
Well, they look as if they're starting to get their act together. And that man on screen there, Crawford, playing a terrific game. He's cut off. He's got down on the back line. He got that one across to Crawford. Here it is now, the build-up. Here's Crawford across to Barrich. A good pass. And as I said, Barrich, one of the forgotten men of AFL football, was an original Eagle. Now playing in the local domestic competition.
Well, it's just 5 points to difference. Victoria 2-1. New South Wales ACT a 1-goal 2. Goal kicker for New South Wales is Barrich. For Victoria, Knights and Salmon. Good bounce back in the centre. Steins. Now a chance for Roos. He can't get clear. Nathan Burke, a little kick. Lambert quickly, hand pass over the top, looking for Hannah. Hannah loves to run with the ball. He gets clear, but he's been tripped, surely. Grabbed by the leg, which wasn't all that bad, coming from Allison. Hannah's kick into the pocket. And Roos, where's Roos playing?
Half-back.
Kicks all over the ground. Must be ruck roving.
Half-back.
Half-back. Boy, gee,
Well, this is what he does in the club games too.
Well, he goes for goal with a long kick. And just misses to the left-hand side.
The man who's got a big job out there is Coleman. Glenn Coleman. He's the only big man in the New South Wales side as far as the ruckman goes. And he could have Steins or he could have Salmon.
Well, there's 6 defenders up there for Victoria, and Roos is not one of them. So he must be a ruck rover or roving centre man or something.
At centre bounces, he's out on the wing side of the square with Wheeler as opponent. Just a bit of a surprise having Wheeler. He might have thought all week he was going to have Carey. Here's Barrett going all right. Left footer, a high ball close to the boundary line. 24 is Longmire, and in front, a good mark has been taken by Hurd. Has this boy come on? He centres. A chance, Toohey. Should have taken the mark. Scholl, good hand pass to Knights. And that might have been a New South Wales goal had Toohey taken the mark. And now Victoria on the rebound through Burke. Scholl had kept going. He's caught by Crawford. The hand pass untidy as a result.
Very lucky to get out of that, Victoria. They're overdoing the handball. Wheeler coming off. Wheeler coming off, and coming on is Mark Roberts from New South Wales.
An interesting move when Wheeler came on after a minute, went on to Roos, and Roos has had a bit of a picnic. Here's Coleman.
And Mark Roberts is going down to pick up Roos.
Murphy over the top, Chris Danaher, and Russell Morris has run nicely from half-back. Kick towards full forward, no mark taken. Hannah gets back. Gathers quite nicely. Sweeping hand pass Langford, back to Hannah. Hannah gives it off again. Robert Scott, in turn, back near the centre. Brown. Brown goes straight towards goal. The ball will land at centre half forward. That should be a free kick to the man in front, Coleman, against Roos, who put his hand on Coleman's shoulder to try and launch himself into the air.
It's an interesting move. Roberts going on to Roos. I don't know whether Roberts got the ability to run with Roos. We'll just wait and see on that.
Roos has taken 2 marks, 6 possessions. Crawford takes one high, there's no whistle. Schwash takes one high, there is a whistle. And taking some time to disentangle themselves. Kelly, the tackler. Unmarked is Craig Lambert. Short pass to centre half forward. The mark taken by Steins about 45 metres from goal.
I think one of the umpires is in a bit of trouble too, Drew. The trainer or umpire's physio is out there talking to him.
Jim Steins not happy to go for goal. Short pass. Lambert, good mark. Well, he came into the game in great form. 41 possessions on the weekend against the Swans.
And that was a good idea too by Craig Lambert, because he could see that Jimmy Steins was going to struggle to get the distance from about 45. So just dropping in, giving him a target.
Andrew Coates there getting some attention. Must have pulled a muscle.
Looking for Victoria's 3rd goal. Lambert gets it. 3-2 to 1-2. Victoria's had most of the play.
Yes, as Drew said, they've had most of the play. They really haven't capitalised on the scoreboard. Apparently Andrew Coates there getting some attention after a clash with Paul Roos. That's why the trainer is out there. But they haven't capitalised, as I said, really on the scoreboard, Victoria.
Well, the Vics lead by 2 goals as Jimmy Steins takes the ball out of the centre bounce. It kicks to a vacant half-forward area. The ball bounces towards the Victorian goal. Down goes Morris. Scott a handball. Shot by Salmon. Misses. 1 goal, 1 to Paul Salmon. 3-3 plays 1-2. It's still Andrew Coates holding the back of his knee by the look of it.
Well, it's been on the forward line a fair bit for Victoria, but Abbott's had just 1 kick so far. Here's Morris. Pike. Gafer. Having a much better night than he had a Saturday last weekend. Things going the way of Mick Gafer tonight. He was in that winning side 3 years ago. The feeling must have been good then, trying to duplicate it tonight. Out towards centre wing. Coleman punches away from Steins and the ball out of play. 5.5 minutes to go to quarter time, and Victoria 3-3, New South Wales 1-2. Steins, a remarkable story. An Irishman, a Brownlow medalist, playing for Victoria. Some sort of a hand pass, Barrage to Pike. Coleman took his eyes off it, and Knights whipped it away. Scott out in front of Knights again. Great vision for Gavin Brown. He's on the 50. A centering kick. Salmon charges at it. Ablett's there. He punches on into the face of goal, but it had too much on it below.
It was great play, wasn't it, by Ablett? An expensive turnover. Coleman on centre wing, just taking his eye off the ball at the critical moment. And he nearly paid dearly for that. Good play by Ablett to keep the ball running towards goal.
Anthony Danaher comes to the members' side. Steins a good punch. Robert Scott breaks clear. Little kick, too short. Mark taken by Gayfer. He was looking for Ablett. Gayfer in the right back pocket for New South Wales. Short kick. Mark taken by Coleman.
Gayfer 6 possessions. And last week for Collingwood all day didn't have 6 possessions. Absolute hiding.
He watched a few go over his head, didn't he? Coleman high towards the wing. No mark taken. Now Knights. Brown straight towards goal. It'll land in the square, it'll land in Salmon's arms.
That's a free kick. Oh, good. He's picked that out, the umpire.
Pushing before the ball.
Oh, he just threw him out of the road. Salmon just pushed him out of the road.
Anthony Danaher goes to the far side. Chris Danaher out there. Sweeping on the football, Roberts. Allison about to get his first real touch. Goes in after it again, Brett Allison. But can't clear the football of a pack of about 4 players. And a few of the fans that have braved a chilly evening here in Melbourne to come along and watch this State of Origin game between New South Wales ACT and Victoria. The winner, of course, plays on Saturday night against the winner of tomorrow night's game between WA and South Australia.
That ball helped on by Ross Smith. The whistle's gone. This time it's a free kick in front to Ablett.
Isn't it good to see the umpires now waking up to what players do? It's to Ablett. Again, Gayfer retarding Ablett, and he's run to the ball. The umpire well aware of what's going on.
Ablett for his first goal for the night. He loves the MCG.
Well, his first big one. He's already been involved in a point, Gary Ablett. Really, from this distance, not a problem for this man. Victoria now starting to reap the reward on the scoreboard. They've had a lot more of the play. New South Wales have only gone into the forward line on half a dozen occasions. No more.
Well, they've had 10 free kicks to 6, 35 kicks to 31, 26 handballs to 18, and 6 marks to Victoria, 11 marks to New South Wales. Coleman gets the tap out. Up high Murphy gets his foot to the ball and kicks it to the 50-metre line. Crawford, not a bad shepherd in that passage. Crawford goes back to Murphy. Murphy's handball. You're in trouble, Carey. Had to get rid of it quickly. Barrage for his second goal. Barrage has kicked his second goal. Well done.
This is a great show of strength then by Barrage to break that hand that was just trying to get onto the jumper. Carey a little bit at sea here. There, very slow for Wayne Carey. There's Barrage getting himself out of trouble. Well done, Adrian Barrage. His second.
Well, it keeps them within touch, doesn't it? Which is pretty good when you consider the what you mentioned, that they've dominated Victoria the early part.
See there Anthony Rock limbering up. I wonder who's coming off for Vic.
Light drizzly rain falling at the MCG. Just a spray. Make conditions a bit slippery. Bill Hanna has shown his pace a couple of times tonight. Floating hand pass to Steins. Glad it was him, not me. He's lost it to Chris Danaher. A shocking kick intercepted by Knights. And Knights playing a superb game.
Chris Grant off to Drew. Chris Grant off and this man on.
Rock just on. First kick. High ball to the 50. Brownless climbs from behind. It's punched down. Goes to Lambert. Off to Roos. And Roos hooks his kick for goal. Out of bounds.
Mark Roberts, I question his ability to run with Roos. Roos by himself once again.
Well, What would you do? Which player would you put on Roos? Who has got the agility to run with him?
Well, I'd start and shift that forward line around. Maybe Chris Danaher trying with Roos. Chris Danaher playing on the half-forward line.
They probably thought Wheeler was their quickest, and he got carved up.
Yep. Well, Gaifer has the football. The ball has come from the opposite half-back flank region to Gaifer on the left half-back flank area, and it's punched away by Langford on Carey. Carey just getting a little frustrated, I guess. Yet to gain a real clear possession. Wayne Carey, he's had just the one hand pass, which was a rather dicey one in the last passage of play that resulted in a goal to Barrage. Victoria forced the ball into the right forward pocket. The mark is taken by Gaifer, and he's coming up for possession number 8. 6 kicks and 2 hand passes. New South Wales take the ball out of full-back. Morris's kick into the centre of the ground. Knights interfering there was Kelly, and Knights would take the free kick, much to the disgust of the New South Wales fans that are here. And by the look of some of those signs that are being thrown in the air when they get a goal, there's a few of them.
Low, interfering, no whistle. He gets the hand pass across to Ablett. Ablett runs into goal for his second and kicks it.
There was a free kick there. That was against Roos to Mark Roberts. Roos literally threw Roberts out of the road. Watch this. There, that should have been a free kick to Roberts. The umpire right there didn't pay it. And Ablett goes in, capitalising his second goal.
It's a cruel game, isn't it? Gaifer's actually had the better of him, and now Ablett has 2 goals.
That's amazing stuff. 5-4, plays 2-2. Stein's doing well, and so he should. He'd have a fairly healthy height advantage against Coleman. James Hird, handball over the top. Roberts in towards the centre where Crawford fumbles. It's critical. Nathan Burke forces it forward for Scott. Scott's little kick off the ground, low. Sweeping hand pass, Roos. Back in turn to Burke, in trouble. Gets the hand pass away to Lowe. Lambert chips in. Hand pass for Roos. Gets past. Goes for goal. It'll land in the square. Ablett at the back couldn't quite control the football, and it goes through for one behind. Credited to the captain. He's now kicked 2 behinds. Anthony Danaher is the player to kick it back in.
45 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Clear superiority now to Victoria. A 21-point lead. Stewie Lowe off the left, short to the 50. And a good mark taken by Rock. He plays on and goes for goal. Or the goal square. Ablett, a push.
Oh, he's not going to play it.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Oh, that is...
It's a goal to Ablett.
My word, that is a bad decision. That is a shocking decision. The umpires were at least consistent before. It'll be here on replay. Rock. Now Ablett pushing. Look at that. I give up. And a change being made by New South Wales. Coming on is Powell.
I don't know anything about the rules, if that's fair. I am fair dinkum. I don't know anything about the rules, if that's okay. Steins gets it down to Lambert. The umpire's whistle had gone, but he calls play on. Gaifer and Ablett. Ball comes to the back. Anthony Danaher will play it over the boundary line. Gaifer takes it over in the finish. And there'll be a boundary thrown in the right forward pocket for Victoria. Still a few seconds left for them to score. Salmon doing the ruck work in the forward line against Anthony Danaher. Chris Danaher dump. Away goes Rock. Gives away a little bit of ground. Schwass caught by Allison. Roos gives away a little bit of ground to Rock. Rock's kick into the pocket. No mark taken, but the siren sounds to end a very interesting first term. Victoria 6-5 beat New South Wales ACT 2-2.
The name of the game is Australia.
Well, Don, you mentioned about Coleman. He really has got a big job, hasn't he? Rucking all night against Steins. Well done. He went straight for that footy. Langford in a little bit of trouble. Ball back near the centre. Chris Danaher forces the ball forward. Could have nearly been a free kick for Longmire. Crawford, in goes Hannah, over the top, leaves it for O'Donnell, and O'Donnell clears for Victoria, back near the wing. Chance now for Kelly, Kelly for Pike. Pike goes further back to Barrage. Barrage's kick is not all that tidy. Murphy, too severe for Kelly, but a free kick has been picked out of it, and it may go back to David Murphy. It is. And he is between wing and right half forward. Murphy's kick into the forward pocket region, but O'Donnell marks and looks to play on. Now he's being called to do just that. Handball away for Ruse. Ruse transfers play to the opposite side of the ground. Don't quite know whether that'll suit the Vicks. Schwass. Ball from Longmire. Roberts, no, Ruse chips in. And handballs straight towards the boundary line, gains about 12 metres. And the safety of the boundary umpire.
They haven't made a move on Ruse yet. They've really got to get someone else beside Mark Roberts to man up on Ruse. Put Mark Roberts on the half-forward line. Maybe Chris Danaher, he's got the job on Brown, but I'd put Chris Danaher and to see if we can run with Ruse.
Coleman did well there. Schwass goes off the ground. Burke pushed the ground. Langford, a veteran for Victoria in state games. Ball bounces through low at centre half forward. Gafer leads Ablett in the race. Is pulled off the ball and will take another free kick. Advantage is played. The hand pass over the top to Pike. Powell takes his eyes off it. Not the first time New South Wales has done that. Rock shrugs the tackle. He's 55 metres out. The pass is good and Salmon marks low down.
It's good to see a player, he's not on screen there and didn't figure in that passage play, Gafer, change his game around, and it's a real credit to him because he had a dirty day on Saturday, playing from behind, holding all that, but now he's playing on Ablett. He's prepared to leave his man and run and meet the ball. And it's very easy on screen there, and it's a great credit to his ability to be able to adapt his game in a matter of days.
Just another slight fumble. It's cost them dearly, hasn't it?
They've done it a lot. Pressure of a state game. The MCG. Paul Salmon lining up. He kicked a goal in the first quarter. Distance 35 metres. Close. Goal.
That was a good kick by Salmon. The angle a real problem out there. There he is. He's playing in front there, Gafer. The turnover, and they've made a number of these mistakes. Powell involved. He has played well in state games before, or previously, Powell. But they've had some costly turnovers, New South Wales.
Well, Terry Danaher and Alan Jeans with a few problems. Coleman can't get through. Oh, a player diving after it there was Kelly. Ball comes clear now. Opportunity for Murphy, and he's going to get a free kick now. David Murphy is playing with a lot of fire. Kicking towards half forward, mark is taken by Mark Roberts.
I wonder if he's now playing on that half forward line, Mark Roberts, because this is where he plays for North Melbourne, his club side. But the player who got that out to Murphy was James Hird. Now, James Hird doesn't need too many touches of the ball, but what he does do is terrific stuff. And he set Murphy up on his way there, and he is a player with a lot of class, that young fellow from Canberra.
Important kick for New South Wales. Roberts goes for goal and misses to the right-hand side. Mark Roberts, who kicked one of the biggest goals we've seen this year at this ground about 2 weeks ago against Carlton from about the point of the square, and it sailed through at about three-quarter post height.
Must have been too close that time. Smith kicks in and finds Burke. Longmire and Carey haven't had a kick between them yet, and we're about 5 minutes into the second quarter. Langford is doing the job on Wayne Carey. That's a dreadful kick. Oh, just inside the line. Mark taken by Burke. He must have known something then. I thought it was floating into the crowd. Over centre wing. Spills to the back. Powell. He'll take a free kick. Tim Powell. He's had only 2 games for Carlton this year. Up to centre half forward. It's though he gave it straight to the opposition, Ross Smith.
This is what New South Wales are doing. They're picking out the Victorian opposition. It looked like it's intentional, but they're turning the ball over so easily.
Good steal there by Ross Smith. Standing in front of the pack. The ball comes to the back now. Brownless has a chance to clear for the New South Wales ACT side. Kicks towards half forward, no mark taken. Smith dumped, but got his foot to the ball, which may have been important. Barrage crashes his way through. Tries to gather, does, but he's taken over. And we'll have a throw in left half forward for the New South Wales side, about 95 metres around from their goal. So it's 2 kicks from goal. Coleman, chance for Lambert. What a magnificent hand pass into the path of Brown. He's setting it up. Scott, wider still for Burke. Burke short pass into the full forward area, punched away by Anthony Danaher. Rock leaves it for Scott. Scott's little kick smothered off the boot of Brunton. Scott off the ground again. He does score, but it's just a behind to Victoria. His first score of the night, Robert Scott. He's been quite lively with 5 kicks and 4 hand passes. And Victoria proceed. They're 7-6. New South Wales ACT are 2 goals 3.
Anthony Danaher, not too sure. Goes slightly towards the outer side. Steins is there. He punches to the front. It goes to Knights. It's good to Burke. He lines up the goals, Burke, and kicks a goal.
And there he is, Nathan Burke. Did particularly well early in the season as a rover for St Kilda, playing on the wing today. That's where he made his name. But they're really not working anything here in New South Wales. Steins bringing it down well. And there's Burke on the end of that Knight's hand pass. Goes in for his first.
Steins gets the ball down, but it's Don Pike. Now James Hurd. High, up towards half forward, but well played by Langford.
I think I'd be making a few moves, Ian. I'd get Longmire to centre half back, put Brownless up forward, try something.
Ross Smith receiving the hand pass, kicks it high. Hurd is in there again with Gavin Brown.
Could even try moving Carey down to full forward, Longmire out to centre half forward, because they're not doing any of them. They're just not involved at all, and they're important players.
Yep. Bounces the ball on centre wing. Lambert forced to do the ruck work. O'Donnell and Knights, but stolen by Kelly. Sweeping hand pass. Allison streaming into goal. Brett Allison. Lovely kick, but it's just offline. Lambert for behind.
Lambert coming off. Lambert coming off for Victoria, and Glenn Lovett, the Melbourne all-rounder, coming on. It's good to see Glenn Lovett get his go. He's one of those unsung heroes in AFL. Terrific contributor. My word, he's a terrific contributor for Melbourne.
Big pack. Comes to the front. Smith somehow gets the ball clear. It's punched down. Love it straight into the action. Knights, Schwass. Oh, look at the running by the Vicks through the middle. Burke, who kicked the last goal for Victoria. Salmon. And if you want to see the cream of football, that's what you've come for. That play down the middle was fantastic.
Don't they do it so well? The game certainly does lift a notch when the top block guys play it. The skill is really unbelievable.
He's a hard man to stop, but he's on the lead, isn't he, Paul Salmon? With
impossible
long arms if he throws them out in front.
Anthony Danaher's probably been outmarked by him 8,000 times at Essendon, so he knows what it feels like. Salmon for his third. Oh, he's hooked it.
Has he scored?
Just gets it behind. (8-7) to 2 goals 4. Well, you can take 14 players out of this Victorian squad and you've still got a pretty decent footy team.
Yes, well, I think they'd be playing with a lot of determination to win tonight, because they've got a big assignment in front of them on Saturday. Brownless tries to get clear. Can't quite control the football. Goes in after it again. And finishes up perhaps fighting his teammate Kelly for possession of the ball. The umpire will bounce quite near the point of the square. Coleman and Steins. Steins in front, gets an effective tap out. Anthony Rock, kick across half forward. Chance for Lowe. Ball bounces nicely for him. And the hook kick is very disciplined. To the front of the goal, Salmon. Got it again. Looked as though it was okay from here, Don.
Well, you can't criticise Danaher then. He was just simply outmarked. Salmon just too tall. But this is the problem. I'd be putting Brownless up forward. You can see here, Salmon just too tall for Danaher. And Danaher doing the right thing, being in front. Just simply outmarked.
Salmon with 2 goals. He has the opportunity to draw level with Gary Ablett as the leading Victorian goal scorer. Oh, ordinary kick. He's missed from about 13 metres.
2 goals, 3 Paul Salmon. Victoria have got the outriders.
Teddy couldn't believe that one. Paul Salmon's kicked more goals for Victoria in State of Origin football than anyone.
Against Ablett, shepherding on Coleman.
Well, Glenn Coleman doesn't even play this role for his club, so it's a real big task he's been given in a state game. Kick by Coleman to a nest of players at centre wing. Steins all the way. Schwass, good running. He'll keep running all night, Wayne Schwass. Penetrating kick inside half forward. Off hands it comes to Rock. Another one.
Brilliant roving.
Just like something that would happen at a training run. Anthony Rock getting underneath the feet of both Brownless and Lowe. Here's the kick coming from Schwash. Watch Rock put himself in front, ball to ground. Just read so well.
Anthony Rock, who started on the interchange bench and came on in this second quarter, has already had 7 possessions and has just kicked Victoria's 9th goal. Away goes Brown. Brown's kick to the square. Helped over for a rush behind to the New South Wales ACT side, or Victoria rather. And 9-9 plays 2-4. Anthony Danaher into centre half back. Mark is taken by James Hurd. Asked to play on. Kicks nicely out towards the wing. No mark taken. Barrich, no. Murphy. Away for Coleman. Coleman's high kick approaching the 50-metre line. Carey can't get into the action. Chris Danaher gives the hand pass back. Looking for Barrich. The boundary line looms up, and Gary Ablett may have a little bit of a nick over his right eye as well.
Nine to 2 goals for. Coleman beats Steins this time. Roos somehow gets boot to ball. Now Kelly for New South Wales to Coleman. Bouncing to half forward, over the head of Roos. Carey, a rare touch, a hand pass to Hurd. Kick by Hurd up. Ooh, good kick. Great kick.
Good football, actually, that was, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. And boy, is this kid a good player.
Yes, he doesn't need too many touches. Very lucky the way Coleman just slapped that down on the forward line there. Carey getting himself out, a little too strong. And Hurd, an excellent kick for goal. Well finished off by the New South Wales team. Let's hope that brings Carey into the game a little more.
10.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Coleman doing a sterling job there. Crawford, number 2. Still Crawford. Flicks the hand pass back to Kelly. They haven't kicked 2 goals in a row yet. Kicked by Kelly, a centering effort. Danny Frawley in front, and still Longmire is kickless.
Frawley plays on, gets the hand pass wide for O'Donnell. O'Donnell runs his 5 or 7 metres, kicks towards the wing where Burke takes the mark. He's starting to get into the play. Back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell with his 3rd kick to centre half forward. Lowe, great hands.
Is that Carey at centre half back now?
Lowe kicks towards full forward. Ablett punched away by Gaffer. In there is Crawford, dispossessed by Rock unfairly, says the umpire, and the free kick to Crawford.
Brownless now at centre half forward. I would have put Longmire to centre half back and Brownless up at full forward, but they've gone with Carey at centre half back on low, New South Wales.
Well, eventually your thoughts have got through, so they've made it. They have made a change, which is fair enough. Knights looks for Steins. Stein's a little awkward. Gets the hand pass for Glenn Lovett. He's in trouble. Just having a little bit of trouble, Glenn Lovett getting up with the tempo after starting on the interchange bench. The other players that started there for Victoria would have been Stephen Silvani and Shane Watson, and they're either to have a run on the ground. Scott, high kick towards the forward pocket region, punched away. In goes Salmon. Gayfer there for New South Wales, and it goes over for a throw-in the right forward pocket. And Craig Lambert came off the ground. Bernie Quinlan.
Yes, Robbo. Well, he's had ice applied to his left hamstring. It didn't appear to be a serious injury, but I don't think they will take any chances with Victoria in a commanding position in this match.
Lambert had 12 possessions in a quarter and a half. Gavin Brown for goal, misses.
You've got to take your hat off to Brown, don't you? He's under some type of injury cloud. He can still get out there and perform. A lot of intestinal fortitude. He's got the ability to overcome injury. Terrific quality.
Kick by Danaher. Big climb at the back by Carey. No mark. Allison gets a good run from Kelly. Kick by Kelly to half forward. Longmire at last.
He's a centre half forward. Brownless now at full forward.
Brownless comes off the hands to Tui at the back. Good use of the body, but Hannah tidies up for Victoria. Has to touch down. He was put under pressure by Hurd. On all fours was Lovett. Now to Scholl. Scholl from half back to Roos. Burning Paul Roos. Burke. Kicked by Burke to centre half forward. Crawford. And young Crawford,
Doing all right,
last year, he's played all 9 games for Hawthorn this year in his first year in the AFL. He's doing very well indeed, coming up for his 9th disposal.
Settled in very nicely in the Hawthorn side and looks pretty comfortable in the all-blue uniform of New South Wales. Being held up a little bit. They were at centre half back. Away goes Brown for Victoria, up to the front of the goals. Ablett and Gayfer. Low does it very nicely. Stuart Lowe kicks his first goal in soccer fashion. Victoria 10-10. New South Wales ACT 3-4.
Well, what happened here was Gayfer was holding on to Ablett, but the umpire didn't see it. The arm around the back, you see that. But then Stuart Lowe running onto it well, did that very nicely.
Steins palms down, goes to Hurd, 20-metre hand pass, chance for Hannah. Milhana around the corner, putting it out in front of Schwass. Oh, good trap, well played. Brown, bit of trouble for him. Terrific hand pass to Roos, who just keeps on running. The centering kick looking for Salmon. That is perfect, except the umpire didn't pay the mark. And the ball underfoot, and we'll have a ball up.
Tui off and Jamie Lawson coming on. I like that move. I know Lawson's not in form, but he'll give a little bit of pace up on that forward line. There he is, number 1.
He's been dropped for the last 2 games for the Swans. It doesn't read well, does it? Powell looking for the boundary line at half-back, and out of bounds it goes. 6.5 minutes to go to half-time.
Just a slight height differential between Jamie Lawson and Craig Scholl.
Yep.
Victoria 15 marks to New South Wales ACT 4. Low strength. Rock. Brown goes into an open goal. Brown, could he miss from there? Yes, he can. Gary Ablett in the goal square. Gavin,
really
hand pass, please.
He's really starting to make his presence felt, Brown, in this second quarter.
He's got up to 9-4 now. Terry Danaher getting some information down to the interchange bench.
Oh, big kick.
Gee, that is a mammoth kick. Nearly into the centre. And a good mark, Carey. Away for Powell. Just gets his kick in. Brownless can't take the mark. Ball rebounds. O'Donnell leaves it for Scholl. Lawson there. Hand pass. Oh! Down goes Frawley. And the free kick has been picked out. Not moving it on. So the kick will go to Craig Scholl against Jamie Lawson.
Did all the work then, Lawson. Kick up to centre wing. Roos. fantastic. Third mark, 16 disposals for the Victorian captain. Away to Brown, the vice-captain. The pass to Lowe. The running game is on now. Rock, the pass. Salmon. Danaher climbs on him. It comes back to Salmon. Boot to ball. Gafer keeps it away from Ablett. And the ball goes out of play before Scott can hook it back.
James Hurd's got the job on Gavin Brown. Brown, a very good player in this quarter, although Hurd has done some good things. Hurd will just have to tighten up a little bit more.
Visitors getting the freeze in this second quarter. But Victoria winning it on the scoreboard. Knights, tackled high, will take the free kick. Interesting to read articles from people like Matthew Knights, how they used to watch these state games on television, in his case from up in Mildura, and idolise the players who are going around. And here he is for the first time in the Victorian A side. He's played a couple of times against Tasmania and B sides, and he's had plenty of the leather tonight.
We'll nearly dog this. He's a real good kick for goal.
Swings back, has the distance. Well called, Robert.
He is just an absolutely magnificent kick, that boy.
Doing well. He did well early, Knights, in this season, especially in the night series for Richmond. There he is getting the free kick. There are not too many left footers who can't kick a long distance. They're beautiful kicks of the football, left footers. I don't know what it is.
His first goal, Don, in the first quarter was a gem as well. He had a little bit of luck in it that it bounced through. Away goes Coleman, but James Hurd takes it from him. Handball's wider for Allison. Allison's kick, Brownless takes the mark on his chest in front of Frawley. Talking about people that can kick long distances, you wouldn't think that Billy Brownless would have too many problems getting the distance from here. He's about 40 metres, maybe a little closer. He kicks from 50 and bangs it into the opposite forward pocket. No mark taken. Back there is Langford. Takes it over for a boundary throw-in.
Well, probably a bit of a rarity for Billy to be having a shot for goal. He's been mostly in defence this year.
Yes, Gary Ablett doing the goal kicking for Geelong in most of their games. Ross Smith getting the ball clear. Down went Pike. Ball rebounds now for Kelly. Kelly finds a little bit of space for himself. Kicks to the front of the goal square. Brownless. Ball nearly finishes with Allison. Through goes Ross Smith. Away for Hannah. Advantage is paid. There was a free kick there for Victoria. Hannah, Ruse. 17 posies for Ruse. Schwass off the right foot. Good too. Good distance. But a mark taken by Carey, who's looking just a little bit more comfortable in his new position at centre-half back.
And that's Wayne Carey's first kick, and we're late in the second quarter. Comes to Lawson. The hand pass for Kelly.
Well done.
Off to Roberts. Goes long, Mark Roberts. Good kick. Oh, just offline. Two shots for goal in this quarter, both behinds. 77 plays 23. Victoria well in command.
They're down a long way now. 91 kicks to 63, Victoria. 69 hand passes to 45.
Kick in by Smith. Allison should have taken that. Murphy losing a bit of ground. Now loses the ball. Regains it. Goes for goal. Not quite the distance. Brownless off the ground. O'Donnell's there to smother, and the ball into the post for a behind. Brownless was on the flat of his back.
Billy Brownless in the picture with 3 minutes left in the first half. Ross Smith to kick it back in. Central umpire giving him the all clear, and away he goes to the near side.
Oh, it's a 3-on-1.
Allison!
It's a 3-on-1 situation, and the man who was outnumbered 3-1 comes up with the ball, Allison. Had he have not got it, the Vicks would have been away.
He took the mark of the year, 2 years ago, was it? On this ground.
Yep.
High leaping left footer. Brett Allison from North Melbourne Football Club. Goes long. Drops in short, the mark taken by his teammate and vice-captain of North Melbourne, Wayne Schwass.
He's giving a bit of territory, Schwash.
Steins in the back pocket. Beat the rap at the tribunal during the week. Hasn't missed a game for 139 games now. Scholl over the centre of the ground. Roos.
He's a problem. He is a real problem for New South Wales.
Well, if they didn't know that coming into the game, they hadn't done the homework.
It's a 50-metre penalty. Oh, this is a goal.
Against you, Mark Roberts.
We've got to make a move.
Paul Roos with a proud tradition in state football. It's his 13th State of Origin game. His third in a row as captain of Victoria, and he's won the Whitten medal twice. And I'd say it'd be a pretty fair chance to make it number 3. 4 marks coming up for his 18th disposal. Oh, I can't believe that. Either can EJ.
They've missed some sitters in this quarter.
It's like a 9-iron chip, that one, wasn't it? 2 points has kicked Paul Roos.
Anthony Danaher gets very good distance with the kick. Well outside the 50-metre territory. Paul Kelly, who's playing pretty well. Little tap on by Powell. Chris Danaher dispossessed by Ross Smith. Ball rebounds into the half-forward area for Victoria. Anthony Rock closely challenged by Brunton. Gets it back to Scott. Scott's little kick for O'Donnell. O'Donnell's wobbling punt kick taken by Gafer, much to the delight of Don Scott. Well done by Crawford. Ball rebounds Glenn Lovett in towards full forward, taken by Carey. Bumped off the football by Ablett, and it goes over for a throw-in. Well, Wayne Carey is one player that can lift for New South Wales ACT. John Longmire is another. Stuart Lowe. Gafer. Well done, Nathan Burke. Terrific stuff. Makes something for Scott. And eventually a free kick is going to go back to Nathan Burke. And he showed a lot of real good determination there. The little St Kilda player. Short pass. Kicks it to his St Kilda teammate Stuart Lowe, who marks on his chest about 30 metres out on a difficult angle. Now Stuart Lowe last Saturday had a chance to win the game for St Kilda against the West Coast Eagles, and Don, from memory, it was something similar to this.
Well, just watching Lowe there going back, and his eyes haven't moved from the spot that he marked on the ground. Now they've moved to watch the ball, but he's focused on that spot. You can see there he's not looking where he's kicking, he's looking at the spot on the ground, and that's where he let the ball go from.
He found the spot but missed the goal.
Didn't help him, did it?
Just goes to show that you can put so much theory into someone's head, and it still doesn't make much difference. If you can kick it, you can kick it.
12 seconds remaining in the half. Long kick again by Anthony Danaher. Had a bit of practice. Victoria had kicked astray. 13 behinds that kick. Here's Stewie Lowe on the run. Long chance. Oh, hits the post. So Stewie Lowe, 1-2 to half-time. 11-14 Victoria. And had they kicked straight in that quarter, because they kicked 5 goals, 9 in the second term, well, they could have led by a cricket score at the cricket ground. Furrowed brows for Terry Danaher and Ron Barassi, who's assisting. Simon Madden, who's a Victorian selector. He's a little bit happier. And Stewie Lowe might go in and have a kick in the rooms, really have a bit of a practice, although that last effort was a bit unlucky to miss from about 50 metres. Victoria certainly regaining some pride here tonight, leading at half-time 11-14-80 to 3-6-24.
The name of the game is Australia.
Start of the second half here at the MCG. Victoria leading by 56 points. But Coleman wins in the middle in the first ball up of the half. O'Donnell for Victoria to half forward. Lowe can't take the mark.
Longmire at centre half back too.
Brunton went in well then and got the hand pass out to Pike, to Coleman. Bounces off Schwass. Not a bad kick on the turn to half forward. Comes to the front to O'Donnell. Loses it in the tackle. Smith's hand pass to Brown. Lowe. He'll take the free.
Longmire back there, gone.
Has done well for North Melbourne on occasions when he's played at centre-half back.
The kick's going the other way.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
There was a holding down the ground.
Away from where Lowe was taking the kick. And the kick is going to Longmire. So Longmire's first kick early in the third quarter. Big punch by Hannah from the back of the pack. Matthew Knights overruns it. Murphy again. Sweeping hand pass to Barrage. Barrage's kick into the right forward pocket area. Out comes Frawley and bashes it clear for Victoria.
Chris Danaher is running with Gavin Brown now. James Hird had that job. Hird might be up on the forward line. He is half forward. There he's in screen.
No additions to the half-time score. Hird tries to get it to Kelly. Kelly, his punch goes for the boundary line, so we'll have another throw in. Paul Kelly, the captain of the Sydney Swans.
Matthew Wheeler also playing on the back line now for the forward line for Sydney. Sanford Wheeler.
Sanford Wheeler.
He is Sanford Matthew Wheeler. He prefers the
Chance now
Sanford.
for Steins to get it clear to Roos. Roos kick towards the half-forward region. Well blocked by Nathan Burke. Harassed by Tim Powell. In goes Schwass. Looks for the hand pass to Rock. Rock's little kick finds Roos, and he's already accumulating possessions in the second half of this game. 13 kicks and 7 hand passes, but that kick in short, the mark is taken by Brunton in front of Scott. He plays on quickly. Hooks it around in towards the centre of the ground, but a good mark taken by Jimmy Steins, who will figure prominently in the voting for the E.J. Whitten medal. Away for Schwass. Schwass's kick up towards full forward. Marking contest. There was no contest. Gary Ablett took it in the finish, quite simply, and a chance to kick his 4th goal.
Now watch, this is the strength of Ablett. Look, upper body strength, hand in the chest area of Gayfer. That's upper body strength.
Ablett shot for goal. Shipping it on the line. It's a goal. 4 goals to Gary Ablett, and the first goal of the second half to Victoria.
Well, he has been kept quiet. 3 in the first quarter, nothing in the second. But here he is starting Victoria on the way. The strength of Ablett. Amazing upper body strength, that man. Not a good kick off the boot, but nonetheless it was straight.
4 goals for Gary Ablett, 4 goals won. Opportunity now for New South Wales, but the kick is cut short by Craig Scholl at centre half back. He turns and kicks it quite nicely towards half forward.
Well
nearly taken by Pike. Matthew Knights is in the action, can't get clear, and the umpire will bounce right on the point of the square. 12-14 to 3-6. The early part of the third quarter. Longmire doing the ruck work. Taken by Powell. He runs clear of half back through the centre of the ground. Kicks towards half forward. Nearly taken by Carey. Brownless is caught. Gets the hand pass away. In goes Barrage, but a little slow. Schwass. A mighty punch. Wide to the wing. Murphy tried to tap it out to Wheeler. He drags it back in. Wheeler's into the action, but in comes Nathan Burke. And Burke swoops on the football. One grab footy by Victoria. Schwass away for Ross Smith. His kick was smothered, but he got it again and kicked it in towards half forward. Scott, a little tap for Rock. In goes Glenn Lovett. Kick off the ground. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in. Glenn Lovett, the Melbourne player, in the picture. 16 minutes left in the quarter as Lowe and Longmire do the ruck work. At the back, Brunton. Good smother by Scott. Taken by Burke. Kicks into a vacant area in the forward pocket region. Gayfer doing very well. Away for Crawford. Crawford, who I feel might be playing on the wing, Don, is he? Could nearly be given a roving job. O'Donnell marks. Kicks in towards full forward. Ablett can't mark. Play on, says umpire Coates. Taken away by Crawford. Kicked at a 50-metre line. Longmire will see it over, and a boundary throw-in will take place.
I think Crawford's still playing on the ball.
Well, it's been an intriguing duel between Gayfer and Ablett. Helped up the ground towards centre wing. Smith, bit of a juggle, loses it in the juggle to Murphy. Love it. Bouncing it half forward. Ablett uses his body from behind. That's a push.
Gayfer in front again. Good play.
Well, he's hard to move Ablett when he's in front, but when Gayfer has left Ablett and charged at the ball, he's usually come out with it. No great distance. Punch forward by Steins, and now the ball goes out of play. Down towards half forward. Interesting to see the crowd here tonight. Supporting Victoria, but there's Tigers colours, Bulldogs colours, the Hawks. Here's Lovett. Little left footer bumbles along the ground. Gayfer playing in front. This time he let it get behind him. Burke the hand pass to Brown. Brown goes back. Ablett snaps for goal. Won't make it. Salmon. But a good punch from behind from Danaher, and the ball out of play.
There's an interesting player warming up for New South Wales, number 19. There he is, Robert Neal. Now, we all know Robert Neal had an altercation with the Sydney Swans last year. Wouldn't train or play under. And here he comes onto the ground, replacing Sanford Wheeler. Robbie Neal, the boy from Canberra.
Well done by Chris Danaher to get the ball to Morris. Morris's kick up towards half forward. Langford the first to recover. Allison just putting a little bit of pressure on, but Langford just quite satisfied with knocking it over.
And he's free kicked. It goes to Carey. Steers the pass in low to Brownless. Frawley does well. Steins, Smith, Hannah. Hasn't been overworked tonight, Mill Hannah. He's fresh as a daisy. Goes for a run. Up towards half forward. Ruse is there. The crowd yells, Ruse. It's not a boo, it's Ruse. Now to Lovett. Now to Knights. Short pass for Ablett.
The skill level is quite exceptional. The way Knights has picked out Ablett, you can lead with confidence forward when you've got fellows up the ground who deliver the ball so well.
And the incredible thing is that Gary Ablett has had his problems with Mick Gayfer, but if he kicks this, that'll be 5. And if Victoria really get on top, he could finish up with 10 or 12. He loves this MCG. He's kicked 14 here twice.
Well, he could have 5 goals from 7 kicks.
Distance 40 metres. Oh, he's hooked it. Well, some of the misses.
Give him a rap, and he'll let you down, Drew. 12-15 to 3-6. Anthony Danaher comes to the members' side. Up high, Coleman. Good mark over Lovett. He had to sit. Handball away. Gayfer gets past Glenn Lovett and then kicks wide to the wing. Looking out here for Hurd. And Hurd marks in front of Hannah. Very talented young player, James Hurd. Already been nominated for the Norwich Rising Star Award this year, along with his Essendon teammate Joe Mercedes. Good mark taken by Ross Smith. Hand pass away for Ruse. Ruse looking for someone further downfield. He has to bomb away into the centre of the ground, but a good mark taken by Morris, who may have started this third quarter as Ruse's immediate opponent.
He has, that's right.
Morris's kick towards full forward. No mark taken. Hurd can't shrug the tackle. Handball, Barrich goes further back towards the centre. Pike, who's been a little quiet, gathers the football, can't break clear. Neither can Chris Danaher. Gavin Brown nailed him, and the umpire forced a bounce.
He might be a bit quiet, James Pike, because he probably figures he should be in Adelaide tomorrow with Western Australia and all his Eagles mates.
Well, he's had 4 kicks and 7 hand passes. Coleman trying to break clear. Now Steins, tackled by Hurd. Brown is there for Victoria, and the ball held in. So we'll have another bounce just inside 50 metres for New South Wales. They're struggling very hard. They kicked 2 goals in the first quarter and just 1 goal in the second term. So their forward power, not what we thought it was going to be when we saw it on paper.
Steins gets a difficult kick out of there. Taken by Powell, into Pike, kicked by Don Pike, down towards the forward pocket. Hurd.
He's got some class, hasn't he? The way he used his body then for a youngster. Look at this. Just stood his ground, just went with the flight of the ball, took O'Donnell out. Very mature act for a youngster.
Good performance. 20-year-old. Played just 4 league games last year. Kicks a goal. his second.
Well, he had the job on Roos in the second quarter. Not Roos, Brown. Gavin Brown couldn't keep up with him. Now he's moved back onto the half-forward line. He's a better forward. Here he is than a backman. He's also played as a backman, actually, for Essendon at full back. But what he does with the ball is always to the advantage of the team.
So play recommences back at the centre with 11 minutes left in the third term. Coleman, really a big heart tonight. Murphy kicked to half forward. Carey dumped by Langford, didn't have the football. Carey will take it, and Langford doing well.
Not having a good night, Carey.
Brown, Scholl shrugs the tackle, kicks it to his North Melbourne teammate Schwass. In turn to Rock, North Melbourne, North Melbourne, North Melbourne, and then St Kilda, Stuart Lowe marks just inside 50 metres. Fans have had plenty to get excited about when the Victorian side have taken the ball into the full forward area. Stuart Lowe.
Great player, this fellow. Always tries in difficult position.
This will be a testing kick. Oh, he does it beautifully. It's a goal. Second goal to Lowe. And the 13th goal for Victoria. They lead 93 to 30.
I don't think he marked the spot on that occasion, Stuart Lowe. Here he is. Rock across to Lowe. And Lowe is a player that has really worked on his game over the years. A shocking kick. He really couldn't make much difference when he came into the game, but now has really worked on it well.
Stewie Lowe won the E.J. Whitten medal here last year in the game against Western Australia. Here he goes with Longmire. Rock, just before falling, got it away to Burke. Now wide to Lovett. Centering kick by Lovett. Chance for Salmon. Well done, Danaher. Scott's after it, and Crawford. And the ball out of play in the forward pocket. We'll have a throw in.
See what type of player Crawford develops into, whether he becomes a ruck rover or stays as a rover.
All Victoria. New South Wales have kicked one goal this quarter. Powell, umpire. Yes, it was going to be a free kick. Advantage to Kelly. Bouncing ball for Hurd at centre wing with Hannah. Out of play.
Millum Hannah, who has done pretty well across that half-back line for Victoria. 3 kicks and 6 hand passes. Steins, tap out for the advantage of O'Donnell. Barrage gets into the action. Hannah taps it to his own advantage. Ned leaves it for Langford. Hurd, hand pass, Crawford. In turn, Carey in trouble. Dump, didn't have the football. Ross Smith. And that's 50 metres, was it? Or was it his New South Wales teammate that tried to throw it back to him?
And the bloke who gave him the free kick was Carey. Any relationship between Peter Carey and Wayne Carey?
Just a quiet night by Wayne Carey standards, captain of this New South Wales ACT team.
But he has licked his act in the third quarter, hasn't he? Started to figure a little bit better.
Well, they need this goal. He kicks across the goal front. It's punched back. Chance for Steins. Caught, but he gets the hand pass away. In trouble was Schwass, away for Ross Smith. His kick taken by Carey. Was that a hand pass? Okay, says the umpire. Barrage kicks to the front of the square. Good mark taken at the back by Langford.
Scholl gets the hand pass over the top. Schwass, good running by Victoria. Hannah out in front of Burke. Has time to run onto a good tackle by Kelly. Down goes Burke, lost it. Coleman. There's Neal putting on a tackle. But it comes away to Knights. Up to half forward. Longmire, number 24. Kicked 8 in Sydney 3 years ago. He's not going to kick 8 from there. Now in defence. Ball out of play, and we'll have a throw in. Very quiet, 3 possessions.
Well, there are quite a lot of North Melbourne players represented here tonight. There'll be 3 or 4 in the Victorian side and 3 or 4 in the 8 altogether, is it, Drew? Glenn Lovett in towards the forward pocket region. Gayfer and Ablett. Well done, Mick Gayfer again. Gary Ablett looking to the umpire. And Michael Gayfer gets a pat on the back from one of his teammates back there.
Yeah, the league leaders have 4 on each team. Schwass, Rock, Scholl, Smith for Victoria, Allison, Carey, Roberts and Longmire for the others.
Fair enough. Well, it's very important for North Melbourne. They're going very well, but they don't have any injuries. Matthew Knight's kick drops in short. Mark taken by Barrage. Powell drops what he should have taken. Handpass. In trouble, Chris Danaher. Finds some space. Back to Powell. Powell into the centre of the ground. Pike. In turn, Kelly. Kelly looking to give the hand pass away when a kick was probably the best option, and eventually finds Brownless close to goal. Handball away, Hurd. Hurd goes for his third, but misses rather dismally in the finish and registers just to behind for the New South Wales team.
Well, that's a bit of build-up. The way the Brownless came out and hit the ball hard and then just laid it off to Hurd running by. Better build-up by New South Wales.
Look at players getting free. Glenn Lovett, 20 metres in the clear at half-back flank. Up to centre wing. Good mark taken by Chris Danaher. His hand pass to Morris. He's cornered by Knights. Good chase by Knights. But Morris eventually. Brownless comes to the front. Smith spun out of a tackle just outside the 50. And the mark is taken by Robbie Neal, 19-year-old. Played 1 game for the Sydney Swans. Allison, but it goes off hands and the ball out of play. Looks like Scholl and Allison have each other at the moment. North Melbourne teammates, State of Origin opponents.
Brownless, kick taken by Hannah. Hannah short pass. Mark taken by Glenn Lovett. Looking to get the hand pass off. It's Ruse. Possession number 23. Up towards Anthony Rock. Keeps his footing. In goes Longmire. Handball back for Powell. Powell over the top, Chris Danaher. Longmire's run nicely. And then thumps it towards half forward. No mark taken. Ball hits the ground. Gatherers by Barrage. Kicks it quickly when he probably could have taken an extra second or two. Billy Brownless gathers. Can't control the footy.
Gavin Brown is off and Shane Watson on for Victoria. And Watson going up onto the half-forward line, picking up Barrage.
Frawley takes the free kick. What for, I've got no idea. Ball was out of bounds for mine. Ellison tap on. Crawford smothered by Burke. Absolutely. But in the finish unfairly, according to umpire Carey. Nathan Burke looking a little nonplussed. The free kick was with Neal.
Here it is.
Well, why does Neal get the free kick when it was Crawford that went to ground? Now Crawford now.
Quick, there's James Hurd on the move. Slow getting it down, Crawford.
Just 18 years of age, Shane Crawford goes for goal from 45 metres. It's a pretty good kick by Crawford. It's a goal.
Well, that's his first. A lot of confidence, the young fellow, because Hurd was on a lead. As we see there, 93, playing 37. A free kick into the back against Burke. That's a good kick, 48 metres out. And cleared the pack standing on the goal line. Shane Crawford's first.
Watson on the ground for Victoria.
Watson just on the ground for Victoria, making his state debut, and Crawford's his man. Morris, centre wing, goes back to Barrage. He couldn't break the tackle and keep possession. And eventually the ball is over the line.
What about Anthony Rock in those two contests?
Well, they've been hard at it all year, North Melbourne. And it's the Schwasses and the Rocks and people like that who have done it for them. Love it. High ball to half forward. Scott. Knights. He's had plenty of it, Matty Knights. Centering kick. Beautiful delivery to Salmon. And when you have height on the forward line, you kick it over their heads and say thank you very much.
Yes, that's it. Did that well, didn't he? Well kicked by also by Knights. He put it out, centered it. It's just nothing. Just nothing Danaher could do in that case.
20 disposals, Knights. And it must be a real pleasure for him to come up a level to the Victorian A team and be surrounded by absolute class. And he's not being outshone by the class around either. Salmon for goal, kicks it.
Well, the big fellow, that's his third goal. He's also kicked 3 points. He has done well, especially early on in the first quarter. Did a lot of things to get the ball into the forward line, lay it off, also retain it in the forward line. And here's the kick for his third. What they've done is brought Mark Roberts on, New South Wales, and Coleman has gone off for a rest.
So 62 points now, Victoria's advantage. With 3.5 minutes left in the quarter, Gary O'Donnell doing what he usually does very nicely, getting the ball out of the centre. Robert Neal for New South Wales. Here's a chance for Watson to get his first clear possession. Tries to tap it to the advantage of Scholl. Craig Scholl couldn't do much with it. And what a meteoric rise this young man has had. Only a couple of years ago was playing with Collingwood under-19s. And starting his senior AFL career in the forward line.
Bruce off.
And now doing well for Collingwood in defence.
Just grand on.
Watson. Free kick had been picked out a little earlier, and it will go to Nathan Burke.
What do you reckon, Scotty? Has Roos done enough to win the medal already?
I don't think he's done enough. Drew should be on there.
Here goes Scholl for Victoria. In towards full forward. No mark taken. Ball rebounds for Longmire. Shrugs the Scott tackle and kicks it back into the centre of the ground. Bounce all important. Carey can't control it, but well done by Neal. Hurd, good perception. Pike in a little bit of trouble. Morris, Carey, short kick out into the path of Neal. Gathers it, just a fraction slow. Maybe the tempo a little unusual. Here goes Murphy. Murphy into the square. Allison can't take the mark. Hurd kicks it over his head, but kicks it inaccurately. And it's through for just one behind.
Actually, sitting on the bench would rob him of the medal. It's only halfway through the third quarter and he's off now. He's definitely, to my mind, best on the ground.
Well, he's 1-2. Maybe they're trying to share it around.
Well, he's got 2.5 minutes this quarter to go. Maybe just have a breather then and come back for the last and have a big finish. Here's Neal.
Does all right, this young fellow.
Short pass. On his own is Barrett.
Just remember, Neal was playing in ACT competition. Now he's up with the top men in the game. So that's a real step up in tempo.
Barrett. Raking kick to the goal square. Steins at the back. Almost. Carey in front. Down goes Frawley, and the umpire will ball it up. Surely Barassi and Alan Schwab and everybody involved in the Swans would be working very hard to get Robbie Neal back up to the Swans.
I'd like to be as sure of winning Tax Lotto as him playing with the Swans.
Good on you. Got a ticket?
No, not yet, but I'll buy one. Anthony Rock kicks it across the face, out of bounds on the full. He will be their #1 priority, I think. We've got to get quality players into that Swans lineup. Not to say that the players there already haven't got the ability, just got to put it all together. Here's Don Pike in the right forward pocket for New South Wales, and what a lovely kick. Oh, it's hit the post. It really was a good kick by Don Pike. Just registering a behind, 5-9 to 14-15. The fans warming up to the occasion. A little bit chilly here in Melbourne this evening. Hannah kicks in.
I think they're all having a good time down there. They've got a common purpose tonight. There's Bombers and Tigers in there amongst each other.
My word.
Steins drops the mark. Roberts gets the hand pass out to Pike. His hand pass is blocked by Lovett, who's done pretty well, Glenn Lovett, since he came on. Back to Chris Danaher. Lovett leaves one and goes in for a second tackle. Well done. Steins wins out. Rock. And now Lovett again. Salmon. Well, you have to feel sorry for Anthony Danaher.
He just on his face told the story, didn't it?
Yep.
And the picture tells the story here.
What the dickens can I do next?
He might be thinking to himself, well, I'm glad the next time he's around we'll be having the same coloured jumper on. He'll be kicking goals for me.
Oh, dear me.
Actually, Salmon could have had a really good night. He's kicked 3 goals, 3. He's lining up for his 4th. Missed an absolute sitter in the second quarter. That's a beauty.
There's also one player that's really worked on his game since he came in. He had real problems initially in getting accuracy over about 40 metres. He wasn't a great kick for goal over 40 metres, Salmon, but now he is a very reliable kick. Maybe comes with confidence and strength, poise, maturity, but he really has done well. Salmon in his football, built himself up. He's still very mobile.
Well, he must have kicked something like 35 goals for the season so far. He kicked 10 in the game against Geelong when Gary Ablett kicked 14, and he went off the ground in the last quarter. There's the siren. It's 3-quarter time in the State of Origin game here between Victoria and New South Wales. Victoria lead 105 to 39.
The name of the game is Australia.
So final quarter here at the MCG. Victoria leading by 11 goals. Bounced by umpire Carey. Coleman charges in at it. Might get a second chance too. Through he goes, number 23. Murphy. High inside the 50. Allison. And a chance for New South Wales to get the first goal of this last quarter.
Hurt himself a bit there too, Allison. He injured himself in the 3rd quarter. Got up and played on. Might have just aggravated that injury again.
Billy Goggin wants no relaxing in this last term. Doesn't want to be outscored. Wants to have a good hit out for Saturday. Kick by Allison. Won't quite make it. Up behind.
Interesting sign. Amusing you, Don.
Sense of humour.
The kick in goes to the half-back flank region where Silvani has taken the mark. Hand pass away for Langford. Some good shepherding by Ross Smith. Langford's kick into the centre has been marked by Longmire for New South Wales ACT. Nice kick by Longmire in towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Morris caught. You are going nowhere. You're caught with the footy. Free kick to Scott.
Oh, no one on the mark.
Everybody running away to mind the players to which Scott may have hand passed, and eventually he kicks it wide. Getting back is Coleman. Just battled manfully, Glenn Coleman in the ruck against the odds. Steins, well done by Crawford. Went to ground, got up quickly and kicks in towards the front of the goals. Marking contest, Silvani. No, mark in front is taken by Hurd.
What a pair of
Gee,
hands
that
that
was a good
was.
mark, wasn't it?
Here he is in front of Silvani. First touch and takes it just as he hits the ground again. Second bite on the ground.
Well, he's kicked 2. So maybe James Hurd with this kick will be New South Wales leading goal scorer. He is. 3 goals for Hurd, 2 goals to Barrage and 1 to Crawford.
And New South Wales have really started well in this, the last quarter. Victoria haven't gone into their forward line. New South Wales have controlled it. Kick by Hurd for his 3rd goal. One of the better New South Wales players tonight.
Coleman charges in again, but Steins gets it down to Scott. His kick to the 50. Burke in front. Disciplined spoil by Powell. It comes back towards Powell. Had a few fumbles tonight, Tim Powell. Well, the Vicks didn't go at him. They held off, and Powell had an easy kick towards the centre. Carey can't mark. Crawford a great gather. His pass to the forward line to Brownless. He's dashing back after this. He might have dislocated the finger. He seemed to hesitate, and it's socked off the ground by Scholl out of bounds. And I think Billy's done something to his hand.
Yeah, my word, he has.
I must admit, he was pretty quick to pull up.
Well, he's going to be forced to do the ruck work, so let's see how he goes at this. with the right hand. It's his left hand that's been damaged. Maybe not too seriously. Hasn't really called for the trainer. Maybe the football just whacking the end of his fingers.
Yeah, they hurt, don't they?
Especially if you haven't had much of a touch for the entire night. Your hands are a little bit cold. James Hurd's tackle on Frawley. Umpire Carey quickly into the action. Will bounce about 25 metres from the New South Wales goal. They've kicked a goal already in this last quarter, so a chance for them to get another one. Well done, Brownless. Langford kicks it high, out towards half-back. Robbie Neal and Schwass. Ball rebounds. Chance for Kelly. Gets past.
Well
handball. Now Barrage, and Barrage has kicked a goal. 3 goals to Barrage, and the second goal in the last term for New South Wales ACT. They trail 52 to 105.
Well, some really quick footwork here by Paul Kelly. Watch here, ball in dispute. Kelly gets away and unselfishly across to Barrage, who I thought kicked that viciously to the left, but it did go straight through, just the camera angle that's deceiving.
So far, Victoria scoreless in this last quarter, and New South Wales have added 2 goals, 1. Lovett came off the bench. He's only played about half a game and has done particularly well. 13 possessions. Gaffer and Ablett, that's been a highlight, the duel. Ablett's kicked 4 goals, 3 in the first quarter. Grant hasn't been in it. Longmire, similar story. Kelly, hand pass wide. The last one to Barrage resulted in a goal. This time Pike to Barrage. Keeps it in. Good effort. Carey charging at the ball. That's more than Wayne Carey we've come to know and love. Back to Coleman. Kick to half forward. Murphy. And Watson with a deft little touch gets it over the boundary line for throwing.
Well, there might be a bit happening down in the crowd. They're trying to keep the boys under control as Jimmy Steins tries to keep the New South Wales boys under control on the field. They're really having a go at the Vicks in this last quarter. Crawford's kick, he doesn't hook it anywhere near as much as he would have desired, and it goes out of bounds on the full. There's a few North Melbourne supporters cheering their representatives on. Millum Hanna with the football, and decides to go long. Out near the wing. In front, Coleman. Handball away. Pike sizes up the situation and kicks it in towards half forward. Hanna at the back. Is that a mark? It's been paid. I thought he was about third in line, but it's been paid. And he gives the hand pass away for Ross Smith. In turn for Watson. Watson carrying the football outside the 50-metre line. Awkward looking kick. Goes to the back. Chance now for Knights. Sits for him nicely. And the kick just a little bit too far for O'Donnell. In goes Powell. O'Donnell's tapped back for Steins. Handball away. Here goes Scott. Scott straight towards goal. The ball will land in the square. Salmon and Anthony Danaher. Free kick.
Free kick.
And it will go to New South Wales to be taken by, is it Anthony Danaher or Michael Gaffer? Gaffer is the recipient. Well, I think Michael Gaffer would be fairly pleased with his effort tonight.
A lot better than last Saturday, mate. The kick to the 50, that's all. Love it again, the hard ball. Just beats Ablett over the boundary line for throw-in. One thing about this crowd tonight is not overly large, but it's young. A lot of young faces in that crowd. And
also very vocal too.
They're very keen to get along and support Victoria. Bit of a nudge there in the back and a free kick to Danaher. Front position in Australian football, wins the day. Crawford. Have to be pleased with his debut in state footy. Over to Morris.
Didn't look.
Kick and hope that one. Allison need to repeat his mark of the year of a couple of years ago that time. Knight's a good hand pass. Smith. High to centre half forward. Silvani takes the mark once he'd hit the deck.
That is a magician's piece of work, wasn't it? How he got that?
Watch this tangle of arms. He pushes out Silvani and then somehow just pulls himself away from his teammate Tim Powell to take a good chest mark.
And can he cap it off with a goal? Yes, sir. First score for the Vicks in this last term.
Silvani, who's come on for Paul Roos. Playing, I suppose you say centre wing. He's got a roving commission there. He is pushing himself away from Powell. Powell may be hanging on. Silvani, versatile player, kicks his first.
Well, I do believe Stephen Silvani has been suffering a little bit from a virus, so it's great to see him back in good form. Chris Langford clears the ball, but not too far. Mark is taken by Murphy, kicks it into the goal front, and Carey. A little late Langford. Carey marks, maybe looking for 50 metres.
Good play by Murphy because Carey was down. Also a good play by Carey to get up quickly and Murphy to play on so quickly. So it's a good passage of play. Langford a little clip behind the ears.
No 50 metres.
Well, it should have been.
You think that would have been justifiable, do you, the 50 metres there?
Yes.
Well, Wayne Carey looked for it, but umpire Carey not having anything to do with it. So player Carey will kick from about 20 metres. And he misses. It's his first score of the evening, Wayne Carey. He's been kicking bundles and bundles of goals for North Melbourne. He certainly has had a bit of a struggle this evening.
Gee, it's party time in that section of the crowd. They are having a great night. Langford straight up the ground to Steins. Carey Neil in front.
Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman leaping all over Steins. Victoria's won the hit-outs 28-17, but Coleman has battled manfully. Here's Rock at centre wing. Great tackle by Murphy. Off the ground goes Smith. Knights, a good trap. Waited for support. It's in the shape of Rock. Silvani can't mark. Spoiled by Morris. Ablett loses it in the tackle. Gafer didn't have it. Ball out of play. Throwing.
Chris Grant really has struggled all night, hasn't he? He spent a lot of time on the interchange bench, but
I don't think he's had a touch, has he?
No, for a player of his class, it certainly has been a dirty evening. Kelly goes back for New South Wales. He may get clear. Eventually forced to kick quickly. Chopped off by O'Donnell. Away for Knights. Knights in towards full forward. And Silvani gets in front of Salmon and marks. So Stephen Silvani, who has only been on the ground since the start of this last quarter, the chance to kick his second goal.
He's a New South Wales player. It's Russell Morris. He's in a bit of trouble. They're singling him to the bench as Silvani goes to goal.
And he kicks accurately.
Well, his second, Stephen Silvani. There he is, Russell Morris. He's got a bloody nose.
Patrons will be permitted.
Maybe it's broken.
On the arena
Straight off the
tonight's
ground.
game. But please wait until the second siren has sounded. Patrons will be permitted on the arena after tonight's game. Please wait until the second siren has
3
sounded.
on for Morris.
Stephen Silvani has kicked both of Victoria's goals in this last quarter. Kelly rips it out of the middle. Thumps it long towards the goal square. Langford punches away from Carey. All New South Wales on the ground. Allison kicked a behind. His second behind of the night. Russell Morris has gone off the ground with a bleeding and perhaps broken nose.
Oh.
And he's indicating how he got it.
Didn't have to be too imaginative there, Scotty, did he?
Well, the player might be just
Biffo.
the ball on. He didn't mean it.
Oh, dear. James Hurds marked the kick
there's
in.
a player down too.
And a short
That's
kick
Schwash.
has been marked by Toohey.
And he doesn't look too good. There he is, Wayne Schwash. Let's hope he's all right because he had a wretched year last year with injury.
Well, the footballer's with Bernard Toohey. And he's about 45 metres out. He'll need a 50-metre plus kick. He gets that, but not the accuracy.
He's the bloke who came on to replace Russell Morris. straight away had a shot for goal.
And the blood really pouring out of Russell Morris's nose.
That's what's going down. He's up.
Langford kicks it back into play for Victoria, well outside 50 metres. Ball at the back. Crawford can't break clear, goes back after it, but kicked off the ground by Ross Smith. Scott's caught. Brunton had him. In goes Crawford again. Crawford across his body. Yes, good mark taken by Chris Danaher from 50 metres. Chris Danaher goes for goal, and it just fades across the face and through 4-1 behind.
It's his first score of the night. There's Russell Morris. Now he's got the ice right over his face, trying to stem the blood flow.
Kick by Langford. Neil goes to spoil, but you can't spoil Hannah. Kick by Hannah towards centre wing. Coleman.
Played the mark.
Yeah, thought it was a mark before the spoil came. He's hurt too. Over the top, O'Donnell. Good vision. Rock. Just ducked the clip from Crawford. Schwass is up and running again. Mighty kick by Schwass. Ablett with Gaffer. Danaher keeps the ball in for Victoria, and the hand pass from Silvani to Salmon. Salmon 5, and Anthony Danaher would be dismayed at not only seeing Victoria kick the goal, but his direct opponent getting it.
I suppose there's much he could do here. Danaher, watch this. If he went over the boundary line, it'd be a free kick against. But what he's done, he's hit it straight to Silvani, who in turn got it across to Salmon. That's Salmon's 5th goal.
5 goals to Salmon, 4 goals to Ablett. And I think when we came here, we probably expected both of those players to figure prominently in the goal-scoring stakes. Longmire kicks it back. The mark taken by Murphy, who's played pretty well. Handball wide. Pike. Further. Kelly. Tries to get back onto the right foot and eventually does so. Kicks it in towards full forward. Hannah got back. Langford there to help out. Langford able to run and then kick it back near the centre of the ground. And a good mark taken by Hurd, who just sneaked around and got in front of Anthony Rock. Took the mark on his chest. He's about 3 metres inside the square. Goes for the big torpedo. And it's a mark in front of the pack by Carey.
Everybody seemed to peel off Carey, didn't they? Just left him standing by himself in front of the pack. Here's Carey. I suppose a shepherding well done by Barrage. Like a concentration by Langford.
Well, Wayne Carey, this will be his first goal, and John Longmire is goalless. Doesn't miss from there. So Carey 1 goal, leading goal scorers for New South Wales ACT. James Hurd with 3 and Adrian Barrage with 3.
I was all aided by this fellow there, Hurd. He chipped in in front of Rock, took an easy chest mark, and then went back and a beautiful torpedo punt. It's good to see those kicks coming back into the game. You can get tremendous distance. There really is nothing better than getting onto a torpedo.
A bad nose for Russell Morris, Bernie.
Yes, Drew, it doesn't look too good. I'm not too sure whether it's broken or not, but the ice pack was applied immediately to the nose. The blood was streaming out. It was flowing out like a tap at the time when he came off the ground. So we won't see him back on the ground tonight.
Back in the middle. The ice had hurt enough on a cold night. The umpires pick one out here. Now he's going to take it and ball it up.
He's done well, Paul Kelly. 10 kicks and 8 hand passes.
So we're back in the centre circle with no restrictions, so throw a blanket over about 30 players. Crawford, slightly off the side of the boot. Allison, the punch away came from Scholl, his North Melbourne teammate. Through Silvani to Rock. Centering kick. Ablett, not this time. Scott weaves his magic, sends out a long hand pass to Lovett. Off the bench to get plenty of touches. Salmon again.
That was a good kick by Glenn Lovett. A very, very good kick. That was a pass. There he is. Melbourne utility. Normally a right foot kick, but look, he looked where that was going, held the ball across his body. A terrific passage of play.
Well, Paul Salmon lining up for his 6th goal. Edwards kicked 4. That'll be 10 between them. In a game not so long ago, they kicked 24 between them. So put them both on the same team. Maybe you'd expect more than 10 aggregate with the ball going in the same direction all night. Paul Salmon for number 6, distance 30 metres. That's it.
I'll be right in saying that's his 50th State of Origin goal.
Not as many as that. That's 45.
40-50. Ablett, Gafer, and there the build-up with Lovett getting involved. That's a good passage of play.
Actually, I agree with you, Don. That was a very good kick by Glenn Lovett. And an equally as good a kick by Salmon to get his 6th goal. Well, Salmon,
One lost ball.
I think he may be trying to recover the footy. And eventually it comes back from the crowd. Paul Salmon appealing. There's Teddy Whitten and Billy Goggin looking maybe just a little bit satisfied. I don't think they'll be too happy. Maybe about 7:30 Saturday night if they're in front.
No cause for being happy yet.
Terry Danaher, who's been coaching up in Wagga. 129 plays 62. Tim Powell, Longmire, now Burke, tackled by James Hird. Umpire will call for a bounce. James Hird hasn't done too bad. He's had 7 marks, 18 possessions, and kicked 2 goals. Paul Kelly on the bottom of all that could have nearly been given a free kick. Gary O'Donnell a little crude, but the umpire, yes, he has got the free kick, Kelly, and he plays on quickly. Goes wide out towards right half forward, but Hannah takes the mark.
Gee, nothing's got past him.
Now he's played a solid game across that half-back line. In towards the centre. His Carlton teammate Powell takes the mark and kicks it in towards full forward, but Langford.
That was well done by Langford.
Out in front of Carey.
Concedes a bit of ground to Smith. What a fine season Ross Smith's had. Schwass, ball punched away by Neal. And Schwass sees it over the boundary line. 129 plays 62. So the margin's 67 points. It was 66 at 3/4 time. So Victoria at the minute just winning this last term by a point. In fact, they had a 56-point lead at half-time. They haven't really quite gone on and buried the visitors. Crawford centres, and there's Hannah again. The hand pass to Schwass. Straight up the centre corridor. That's what Billy Goggin wanted at 3/4 time. Here's Lovett again. Another possession to Steins. Melbourne teammates combining. Steins a little left footer. Too high for Scott. It's going Victoria's way to Ablett, but the whistle's gone. And it'll come back a free kick to be taken by Brunton.
Steins has had 7 kicks, 12 hand passes and 21 hit-outs. Brunton's kick goes down the centre of the ground. Hannah in front, but the mark taken by Brownless. First really decisive grab by Billy Brownless. Kicking towards full forward. And an excellent mark taken by Smith.
My word, because Carey was bearing down on him. It was
Back
a good
to
lead by
Scholl,
Carey.
and then Langford. His kick out towards the wing.
I'm not sure that all the partying at the left-hand end has been good-natured. I think there might have been a little bit of police activity there. Nearly a throw by Silvani. The ball out of play and a throw in down towards half forward for Victoria. 19-15 plays 8 goals 14. And the tackling pretty even all up, 28-24. Punched on by Kelly. Neal. O'Donnell, but chopped off by Crawford. He belts Gary Ablett away. That's no mean effort. Kicked by Crawford to half forward. Brownless. He got away with that one. Brownless 60 metres out. One out over the head of Carey. It had too much carry, the kick by Brownless, and through for a behind.
Should have had a crack at the goals, Billy. He was in the clear, and when the 2 players led away, the goal was unattended. Kick in has been marked by Hannah. Hannah goes for Frawley. Frawley in turn finds Scholl. Craig Scholl, who's picked up 14 possessions, looking for Grant. Grant will receive the free kick. That's his first. Well, he's tackled one player, but that's his first effective possession. In towards full forward. No mark taken by Salmon. Picked off by Silvani. Just couldn't quite get his foot to the ball. And it's over for a throw-in.
It's a fair tackle by Crawford. He's fighting out of his division there with Silvani.
My word.
New South Wales best player tonight, Crawford.
Yes, he's had 16 and 8. Here's a chance for Ablett to get his 5th. Oh, great kick, hit the post. See, it looked home for all money, didn't it? 19-16 to 8-15. Anthony Danaher, straight down the ground, not too bad. Mark taken by Kelly. Kelly hooks the kick in towards the centre of the ground. Goes straight through the players there. Here goes Neil, looking to bash it on. Might have to do it again, and he does, successfully. Chance for Murphy. Gets into the clear. Handball back, Toohey from 50 metres. Bernard Toohey goes long. Carey, oh dear, he got rid of Langford and then couldn't quite hang on to the mark. So another behind to the New South Wales ACT team, and Langford finds Hannah with the kick in once again.
21 possessions, 8 marks for Mil Hannah.
Oh, he's played on, surely.
Very high kick off the left, short of centre wing. Coleman flies. Grant is there as well, his Footscray teammate. Chris Danaher to Longmire. And smothered out of bounds. Well, not quite the 8-goal performance of last time, but he's played about half the game in defence. He had to go back to defence to get a kick. Steins, clean possession to O'Donnell. Longmire lost control of it, comes to Toohey, and the kick by Bernard Toohey. High for Brownless, punched by Frawley. Whistle, free kick Brownless.
Oh, he's done a hammy, has he?
Schwartz.
Oh, yes, he's in trouble.
Done a hammy.
Well, North Melbourne have got the bye after next Saturday, so it may be a little fortunate for Wayne Schwartz. Brownless's kick has been marked by Crawford 50 metres from goal.
I think he'd rather be here on Saturday, wouldn't he? Be a big game Saturday.
Oh yes,
whether it's South Australia or Western Australia.
Granted, but from a North Melbourne point of view, he has a couple of weeks to get over that injury if it looks to be anywhere near severe. Crawford's kick to the goal line eventually is rushed over for a behind to New South Wales. Wayne Schwartz is being replaced by Stuart Lowe, is he? No,
he thought he was
no
going
one
to get a
yet.
run, Lowe.
Well, they've only got 17 there at the moment.
Bit of discussion about it. I think it is to be Stewie Lowe eventually. Man in front, Steins can't take the mark. He's over it. He's over it. Oh, I thought Neil had a case. O'Donnell. Rock and Longmire, North Melbourne teammates. Backhander by Longmire to the boundary. Didn't find it. Burke. Has that gone 10 metres? Yes, the mark paid to Longmire. Powell. Chris Danaher. Coleman at half-back for New South Wales. Oh, it took a while to sit for him. Pike. Chris Danaher, they've gone nowhere in about 14 possessions. Brunton. Brunton's kick wide. Allison. Knocked away from him by Scholl. His teammate on teammate here. It's fascinating. Well, Schwartz came off the ground. How does he look, Bernie?
Well, the physio checking out his right hamstring at the moment. He doesn't seem to be in severe pain, so I don't think it's a tear, probably just a strain. But he certainly won't be coming back on the ground, Drew, and must be in serious doubt for Saturday night's game.
Free kick going at right half back to Jimmy Steins as we see Wayne Schwartz on the boundary line. The kick in towards the centre of the ground, taken by Smith. Smith in towards centre half forward. And Lowe, who's just come onto the ground, obviously the New South Wales boys not sure where he was going to go, so no one to pick him up. But his kick has been marked by Coleman. Away for Toohey. Great mates, Bernard Toohey and Glenn Coleman. Kick out towards half back, and Shane Watson and Adrian Barrage go for the footy. And it finishes over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw in about 60 metres around from the Victorian goal. Just seconds left in the game, so Victoria will go on to play on Saturday night. New South Wales team haven't done too badly though. It could have nearly been a mark there to Frawley. Gets it back to Scholl. Scholl with nearly the last kick of the game, up towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Matthew Knight's a hand pass, and it's all over. Billy Goggin pleased, Teddy Whitten pleased. Victoria have won the game against the New South Wales ACT team by 65 points. Terry Danaher looking a little disconsolate, but the Vics clean it up here at the MCG. 19-16 to 8-17. And down on the boundary line, Bernie Quinlan's got Paul Roos.
Yeah, thanks, Robbo. Well, Roosy, you look like you're dead set going to win the medal by a million miles. What happened? Were you injured or just had a rest in that second half?
No, I think the plan was if we did happen to get a few in front, to take a couple of boys off, because obviously tonight was very important to get in front and then hopefully win it, and Saturday's even more important.
You'd be a bit dirty on the coach. You would have fair dinkum. I had you down at half time as the winner of the medal. But they're just trying to share it around, as Robbo suggested.
No, I'm not too sure. I think it was a great effort. Some of the guys, efforts, Jimmy Steins, I thought was fantastic. Langford on Carey, so could have gone to anyone. Maybe they'll get 18 mate or something.
Well, the second half though, Roosie, it was the foot off the accelerator a little bit, wasn't it? Because 56 at half time the advantage, and only won by 65 in the end. Yeah,
I guess. As I said, tonight was very important that we won, and I think once we got in front 12, I mean, it's equally as important to look to Saturday, because hopefully the guys will be a bit fresher given the rest in the second half.
Yeah, well done, Roosy. Terrific effort. And
what are you laughing at?
I don't know. I just keep looking at you, and you make me laugh, Roosy. I don't know why. I just keep thinking about that medal that got away from you.
Oh, well.
Terrific effort anyway.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, Roosy.
Good on you, Bernie. Well, they broke the rules here. They had the ground ringed with policemen and security people, but it didn't stop the fans. They've absolutely swarmed onto the ground here to congratulate the victorious Victorians. And no harm done.
It's so what? I mean, it's terrific, isn't it? Half the time, these people, this is what they look forward to, getting amongst all their heroes.
And there's a lot of heroes out there tonight. Victoria finished the game with the captain Roos and the vice-captain Brown on the bench. Victoria, 19-16, 130. New South Wales ACT, 8-17-65.